Hello.
Kenya Ware?
Yes, Kenya Ware. How you doing, sweetie?
I'm doing great, man. How are you?
I am good. I'm in the house. You see, I was out all day yesterday. I think I'm staying in. I'm just having fun throwing up old pictures today. I'm like, let me go through all my stuff today. Let me see what Sunday will bring out to me. What will Sunday bring out today?
Yeah, I was surprised you, still wanted to do the interview because I thought you was busy because yesterday when I was following you on IG, you was, pretty busy like you said. So,
Oh, no. See, let me tell you something. We've done all that. When BET and all those awards were popping back in the 90s, we did all that. So I'm not fazed by that because it's another kind of species out there. It's not the same. It's not the same. So I'm not, I went to support a couple friends in their little events that were one from Atlanta and another one out here, but I'm not getting in that mess. Hell no.
I feel you on that, man. Thank you so much for this interview, man. I appreciate it so much.
No, you know what? What bothers me, and I tell people this all the time. I got my television show coming out, but the thing about it is that so many people have told our story, and I'm tired of it. I mean, the limo driver, the person, the detective that came on 20 years later, and they're making so much money. So I'm like, let it come from us the way we want it to come. Not from the third and fourth and fifth parties to say, oh, yeah, I was around. No, you weren't.
Right.
So it's all good. It's all good.
So for my followers, for people that don't know you,
Yeah.
I wanted to introduce you. So this is Kenya. This is Kenya Ware, television and film producer, costume designer, and this is Daz Dillinger, Babymama. Hey, how many kids do you and Daz have?
Me and Daz I have the first one with him. After my daughter was actually the only one that got her daddy. It had her daddy for the first 5 years after we separated. Then kids were coming out everywhere. So she was the first kid on the block. She was his first experience, Imani, and she'll be 24 years old this year. So it was the first one. We got one, and I'm sure it's a lot of them, but Dad's still a good guy.
Okay. With that being said, let them know, what you do for a living and your credentials.
Okay, all right. Yeah, so I started out back in the days. I was with the boys, and I used to just dress them, just because I'm talking about before, first to start off, who introduced me to Daz. Snoop was the gracious matchmaker that hooked me up with Daz. Daz is still living in Oklahoma, and I was friends with Eazy-E's girlfriend at the time, and, she introduced me to Suge, and then I met Dre just in the NWA days and knew her. Met Snoop when he first got out of jail back in, 91, and he was like, I'm going to play the matchmaker. I'm going to introduce you to my cousin. I said, where is he? Oh, he doesn't live out here yet, but he's, he's coming. And, my prerequisite was, is he cute? He got curly hair like you? Snoop said, yeah. Lies. That was totally different than him, but we go back then, and it was pretty much, all of us, starting off. They didn't have no money, and I was the only one that had a job back in the days. I was working at Nordstrom's. So started off at Nordstrom's. That's where my fashion came in, and I started there at 16 years old. And pretty much when my check from Nordstrom kind of fed Dad, Snoop, and whoever else was in the house, my Honda Accord kind of was the only vehicle back then because no one had cars. So we were all a little family. So we started together and we kind of stayed together. And, if I ate, they were going to eat. So that's where my fashion came in at Nordstrom. And then I continued on once Death Row got started. Suge, can I dress the boys? And he wants to know why, because, Dad's making all this money. Why do you want to work? My thing is I want to make my own money. I don't want to depend on a man. I want to make my own money. So that's where the fashion came in. I got to dress everybody. They go on tour. I go shop for them. They do a video. They might hire somebody, but I'm going to bump that person out the way because I'm coming in. I was hungry. We had money, but I was still hungry. So that's where my fashion came in. And eventually in 99, I got into the costumers union. and started working for MTV, Girlfriends, and my resume goes on and on. If anybody ever wants to check, you can go on the Internet Movie Database. That's IM is in Mary, B is in dog, B is in boy.com. You type in anybody's name. You can type in Kenya Ware, you can type in Snoop Dogg, Jamie Foxx, and you can get our background of what we've worked on that has been union work. And right now, I did my first producing debut in 2000, where I got a deal with Stars under my company, A Busy Girl Productions, and I did the first Dog Pound documentary. And actually, I was the first African-American girl to get a deal through Stars. I beat everybody, and no one knew that Kenya Ware did the DPG eulogy. That was the first documentary. Besides, Death Row had theirs, but I did the one on Dog Pound. So that's my producer's hat where that started. And, my costuming, that's my first love. But producing is kind of getting close to taking over. So that's my makeup. That's where I'm at now. I'm working on a television show right now, Shameless and Animal Kingdom. And, I got a deal on the table with the ladies of Death Row. So my resume never stops.
Okay. We definitely going to touch on the ladies of Death Row. I definitely wanted to ask you about that. So I'm definitely going to ask you about that later in the interview. So thank you for putting that out there, man, because I wanted, people to know that, your resume is crazy, man. So you're more than just Daz Dillinger, baby mom. So I wanted to,
Exactly.
So with that being said, hey, what age and year did you meet Daz?
Oh, God, met Daz. It had to be in, when did he come out here? He had to be like in 91. Daz was his mother was really heavy into the religion, and she took him to the Bible Belt probably in his teenage years in Oklahoma. She was going to Oral Roberts University out there, and he was living there. He hated it, but he was doing his thing. When Snoop, if anybody remembers that 187 on the Undercover Cop, when Snoop made his debut, that's kind of when Daz is on the Greyhound bus coming out here. Soon as that song hit the airwaves, all Snoop's cousins, family from everywhere came back to California because, hey, my cousin made it. I'm coming too. Daz was the only one that he brought along, and Joe Cool, and then RBX too. But they were talented. So it had to be like in '91. I met him because I was around Death Row before Daz even got here. I mean, before Daz had even touched down. It was Tracy, Easy's baby mama, Dre, me, Suge, Snoop. We would hang out all the time, and I was just single, and I wasn't messing around with nobody. So that's what Snoop was like. I'm gonna hook you up, my cousin. You're a nice girl. You're not out here. But I tell Daz all the time, I was with Death Row before you. Yeah.
What was your first impression of Daz?
Oh my God. Okay, so this is honest. We were at a party, some party, and little half day came in. Yo, Dave is here, and just imagine this. I want you to just pick up, so we drive in. Me and Tracy, my best friend at the time, Suge and Booty. We got Dooney and Burke purses on. We're cute, diamond out, and we walk into the club, and I'm thinking, I'm gonna meet this guy that's kind of twin. Daz had just got off the bus that week from in a Greyhound bus riding all week, so he didn't look. He was not kept. I was like, hell no! I was mad because Snoop had described this dude that looked like him, and it was nothing. His hair wasn't cut. He was not kept. I'm like, oh really? So I remember Dre saying, "Oh, you got your man now." I'm like, no, I don't. So I said, Daz kind of wore it down. I mean, it was not an immediate attraction. I was kind of kicked off. I said, but he was so lovable. And he needed, I remember I would be on other dates, and he would call me up at 911. Somebody's at the studio. We're stranded. You have to pick us up. We're stranded. You don't want nothing to happen to us. I would have to leave my date and go pick him and Co-op up. And that kind of became the big thing for like 3 months. And I just said, oh, God, just let me give this boy a chance. Let me give him a chance. And mind you, nobody had any money then. No money, no cars. And it kind of just started from there, you know, from the bottom. It started from the very bottom. It was no money. It was Kenya's little Nordstrom check every 2 weeks. And I cleaned him up. I'm like, all right, well, I'm going to have to show him my way because he's Oklahoma. So let's get him some Nike. Let's dress him up. Let's get him in style. And brought him a bag of clothes over from Nordstrom and start recreating his style. And little by little, I'm like, okay, I can do this. I said, he looks good. Haircut, clothes. All right, we got this. So, you know, I made him into this little dance, but he was his own dance already. He was creative and talented and all that. I'm just, in terms of fashion, that's what, you know, what I helped. So, you know, it started off rough, but then, you know, we made it.
What was the main thing that made you fall in love with Daz?
He was so persistent and unpredictable. And, you know, when you're younger, that's fun. He would always just come to the neighborhood at 2 o'clock in the morning, toot the horn for me to come outside. And I'm like, is this boy crazy? He's trying to get me kicked out? But he was just unpredictable, and that was fun.
Okay. So from your point of view, how did that work out as far as, you know, Daz, you know, pretty much joining Snoop Dogg and getting on death row? What's the backstory on that? How did that come about?
You know, Snoop was there when he proved himself on that 187 song, and he was death row. You know, I mean, Dre came with the beats, but Snoop was death row. So at that point, you know, they still had to work. And the test of time came in when they were recording the Chronic album at the Village recording studio, and people don't know those kids had to sleep up there all night, rage on the couch, corrupt, just sitting up there hoping to get 8 bars, hoping. They didn't know if Dre was going to put them on there. They didn't know if they were going to get those 8 bars. It was nothing given. Dre, they would be in the studio, and Dre was like, oh, okay, come on, you got 8 bars ready? All right, come on, Dad, you ready? All right, you can do this song. Oh, Range, you got one? And Dre made them work. Daz had to come up there and work. I mean, it was a plus that he was Snoop's cousin, but remember who was in charge at that point? It was Dre. And Dre was a mastermind. I mean, when he gets in that studio, it's different, Dre. It's quiet. It's business. No bullshit. None. So he had to prove himself, and he proved himself that he was the man for the job. He was.
How was Suge Knight at this time?
How was he?
Yeah. Like, you know.
Yeah,
like, how was he? Like, what was his personality? Like, what was his
I've always
vibe?
loved Suge. Suge is like my, you know, for me, everybody got their different point of views, but anything I've ever asked Suge for, despite him and Daz having their beef, it was always an alliance. He was still my friend. He was my buddy. He was good then. He was, you know, he wasn't as aggressive at that point, you know, but, you know, money and power brings aggression. He was just nice and was there as a father. I mean, he played the father role to all these guys, because remember, none of them had fathers. Luke didn't have a father at that point. Corrupt was battling with his. Daz didn't have one in his life. So he was sad to everybody. That's what his role was. And he played it well. They didn't want for nothing. You know what I mean? They had a roof, they had food, and that was a lot better than what most of them were doing. So, you know, they were satisfied, you know? They're eating. They could smoke all the chronic they want. Who wouldn't want that?
Yeah, that's real. Real talk, man. Real talk. So, did you know Tupac prior to Tupac joining Death Row?
Yeah, well, you know what? Pac would come around, you know, when he was with the Digital Underground. I remember just seeing, like, we've seen Pac before at, you remember Jack the Rappers, Freaknik. We would run into him, Short, and all of them down there, because I was the only, look, let me be told, none of them other girlfriends got to go nowhere. I went everywhere with them. They weren't happy about that, but Suge told them, if I say she can go, she can go. And I got to go. I got to go everywhere. I might be the only girl there, and they like, why she in? Well, I said she can go. Dad was like, shit. You know, because they want to have fun. But I met Pac, I think the first time was probably one of the Freakniks in Atlanta, and maybe one of the Jack the Rappers. You know, we weren't as close to him, but because he got the Interscope, and I mean Me Against the World. And I remember Daz and him at some point became close because when he got locked up, I remember Daz always wanted me to write put the address on the card and help him write the letter. I remember one letter we had wrote to him but never sent, and it stayed in the drawer. I don't know. It was something, and then he ended up getting out. But that letter never got. I just remember Clinton Correctional Facilities, Daz, our house in Silver Lake. I remember the address, and we had put it, but we never sent it out. And we didn't know him that well, but we became really close to him when he came home because Pac felt abandoned in jail. I mean, there's so many stories out there. Well, we were trying to get him out. That was bullshit. That boy was going through hell in jail. He was going through hell. And nobody was helping him out. I mean, I read this stuff, and I'm like, really? So why did he have to sit in there all that time if everybody was trying to get him out? And, why did Suge go up there with a piece of paper, and they signed a deal on a damn piece of paper and got him out? I mean, if that's all it took, then why did Interscope go up there and get him out? If it was that easy to sign a deal on a piece of paper, why didn't anybody else, want him out? And, Suge, Snoop and Daz, they were pushing for that. I mean, they really wanted him on the label. Dre too. But, you've read a whole bunch of stories about, oh, yeah, we're going to get him out. Lies. Death Row came to his rescue. Period. That's it.
So did you know Tupac was going to join Death Row before, the public did, before it was, like, official when Suge went and got him?
I knew Suge was going down there because, I mean, think about it. They didn't know what they were. I don't think anybody knew at that point, okay, what is it? What's going to happen at the jail cell? We knew that he was going down there to try to get him to sign on to Death Row to see if that was something. I mean, it was a hit or miss. If Pac would have said no, then he would have been sitting up there. So at that point, who knew what Pac was going to do? But he was going through so much shit in jail. He was going through a lot. I mean, I would hear, Daz talking amongst with Snoop and all them. I would hear Suge talking. He was going through hell in there. And when, we got word when he signed the deal, and Suge put the money up, and he was out. And a lot of the world don't know, but 2 days after he got out, we threw him a big, we call it the wings party, a hot wings party at my house. Me and Dad had a house up in Silver Lake Hills. And that house was the house that he stayed at when he was going through his murder trial because it was close to downtown, so he stayed with us during the whole trial. And then he eventually got a house in Toluca Lake, but we gave Pac a party. And I just remember we had a long driveway, and Pac pulled up in his little two-seater Benz, and he was so happy. And all he wanted to do, I mean, I'm like, we going to have cake. We got wings and things and Melrose. We had everything laid out. But all he wanted to do was go into the studio and make music. He just wanted to make music. And everybody came to the house that night. I mean, everybody was there. I think, some of the Wu-Tang, of course, the Dog Pound, Corrupt's girlfriend at the time, Andrea. Everybody was there. And we had a good time. And we just knew the Death Row was going to go to another level because Pac was there. I mean, you just felt a different vibe when Pac got there. It was a fucking different vibe when he got there. I was excited. I said there, I was more excited than everybody because it was going to be different. Like, this dude was a different type of rapper. And it did. He helped the boys. I mean, he was all into women, treating a woman this way. He was not into bitches, calling girls bitches, and you ain't shit. He didn't like that. Don't come around him talking about these ain't like, he didn't like that. He was all into that, respecting the woman, and that's a part of his Muslim trait. He would play that. So, he had to check a couple of them, about the BITC word, because he went down with that. So it was a great vibe.
Hey, give me a story on somebody he had to check, over calling a female, a BITCS.
It was, I heard backstory, when the boys all get together. It was nothing, nobody specific, but it was just, I don't do that. Bitches, women's a queen. Women are queens. women or queens. It was never any like, okay, Dad's gonna call her. It was just among I already checked. I didn't get a name of it, but it was probably one of the Dogtown members, 100%. Not Snoop, but it could have been Daz, it could have been Corrupt, it could have been Sean Dog, could have been Half Dead. Definitely wasn't Snoop. Snoop wasn't. Snoop. He was a little bit more reserved. Because he had to play a different role around everybody. He couldn't be childish, but everybody else is still in the childlike frame at that point.
Was you in the studio? Do you have any, memories of being in the studio with Tupac when he was recording for All Eyes on Me?
Oh God, I remember All Eyes on Me. It was so many songs. We call it Cran-Am. Michelle reminded me about 3 weeks ago. Kenya, you're calling it Can-Am. It was called Cran-Am because Cran-Am, it was always so crowded in the studio. And it was Can-Am Studios on the Valley. That was Tupac's studio, Cran-Am. And it was just, I remember like a couple songs that I would come in there and hear, and they never made it on the song. But I remember Dad bringing home Gangsta Party to Beat, and I remember him working on that. And I remember my favorite song, Picture Me Rolling. I remember everything that Dad was personally involved in coming home. And then, Pop laying the beats. Maybe he would come home and add some more, beats to it, so whatever sounds to it, and then take it back to the studio. So, just going into the studio was filled with people. I just remember it was security, it was Bloods, it was Crips, it was groupies. It was everybody at that studio. And it was in security, and you had a metal detector at the door. Sometimes it was kind of scary because you didn't know who was who. You the blue side, you the red side, you just never knew if anything was going to pop off. It really never did. It was tension, but it didn't. So I remember, to answer your question, Gangsta Party, Picture Me Rolling, and I remember Michelet did this, you can run the streets with your thug. I remember all that, but it was a couple of songs I remember that never made it because he had done so much in so little time.
Right. So, what was the vibe like between Tupac and Dr. Dre at that time?
It was good. I think what kind of, and I think for everybody, Pac became the center of attraction, and people's egos started to get to them because if you're used to being the king, and then when Pac came. Oh, things changed. It was a new king in the house. He became that. Let's be honest. When he came, all the attention went to Tupac because he was already a name established. But then he came to Death Row with a different fire. We remember, his Digital Underground days and then Me Against the World, but he came with that heat, and he was the man. And I think it ruffled some feathers, and quietly, it was kind of like overnight. Dre was like, okay, I'm done. It was nothing like, how you go on for months, oh, Dre is mad, he's leaving. It wasn't nothing like that. Whatever he felt, he kept under wraps and just said one day, fuck it, I'm gone. It wasn't no tension. Of course, the gay rumors were flying around, but come on now. I didn't believe it, about Dre. But I just think that it was just like the ego. It was the ego thing. Because Pac was the man. He came and he kind of took over. Let's be honest.
So I gotta ask you. These rumors been floating around for a long time. So I just want to get your point of view of it. The rumor is, Snoop Dogg probably was a little jealous of Tupac when Tupac came out because of all the attention Tupac was getting. Do you agree with that?
Sure. Yes, I do. I agree. I agree to a sense. Snoop is young then. And just imagine how would anybody feel? We're humans. And Snoop was the man. And I don't think Dre had a problem with Snoop being a man because he was the man next to the man. That was somebody he created. But Pac came in, and it was not hard to really, it wasn't hard to understand that people were jealous. It's human nature. If I was the man, if I was the girl at the label, and then little teeny bopper cute girl come in, I'm like, okay, what the fuck is she doing here? So yes, I believe in jealousy, definitely. Come on.
Did you see anything that, or did you hear any remarks in regards to somebody saying something about Tupac?
They wouldn't do that. They knew better. They weren't going to mess with that. I mean, Tupac can be boisterous, but everybody else kind of kept it under wraps because I think they kind of knew at that point, Suge's loyalty was really moving towards Pac.
Right.
So at that point, there's nothing you could do. His loyalty was Pac. Pac was going to be the ultimate, all the way across the board. I mean, he was going to be the man that was going to, probably take you the next 10 years. He knew that. And why, Pac didn't really, he wasn't doing the drugs, the smoking, the women. That's a good factor because you can go further if you don't have all that. He was the main point, the low label.
Did Snoop ever vent to Daz about Tupac or anything?
No, he wouldn't do that because Daz was a kid then. You couldn't talk to Daz. He could talk to Corrupt more. So if he hadn't vented, it would probably be with Warren or somebody like that. But Daz and Corrupt was still running wild. They weren't trying to hear nothing or say nothing. They wanted their money, their weed, their women, and to have fun and party. A legitimate conversation was not happening at that point. And it was not about business at that point with them. They were just having fun. So if there's any kind of venting, and one thing about Snoop's not, he's not going to talk about it. His emotions, you'll see his emotions. He's not one that is a talker. You got some men that are talkers. If Snoop is mad, he going to do some shit that make you understand. He ain't going to pick up your calls. He's not going, it's something that's not going to happen. You're going to be able to read his emotions by his side without even hearing him. So I take it, when he got on the radio, weeks before Pac died, and and I remember hearing that, and I was pissed, about him,
what was the reaction on that? I was just about to ask you about that. What was the reaction when Snoop got on the Hot 97 and made them remarks about Tupac or whatever?
Division. Oh, it was division. We all went from sides. We all went to different sides. I rolled with Pac because, Daz, we were already going through our mess, but Pac was my boy. I mean, Pac would, for me personally, I'm dealing with Daz, young women, and it bothered me. And Suge and Pac, actually, those are my friends, aside from all this. And they will always ask me, "You okay? You okay? Don't worry about it. You're a good woman. You can't make a man do things, right?" They will always be just inspiring me, helping me, because that was fucking me up. If, Dad was out there with groupie 1, 2, and 3, and 4, it would bother me. And Pac him and Suge would always try to make me feel better. Like, girl, don't worry about it. You just don't worry about it. So automatically, when that division went, I was rolling with them. I mean, Pac was my friend. And it was a division. It was down the line. What side are you on? It hurt my feelings. I mean, we're supposed to be rolling together. We all kind of death row. I'm not switching sides. I'm staying over here. So it was that was bad right there. That divided. Of course, Dad, all of them, they were all together. Dog Pound went together. Everybody else on death row went that way. It was a big separation, a huge separation. Huge.
Okay.
It was huge. I mean, even when we went out to Vegas, when Pac got killed, it was huge. Everybody didn't get invited down there. It was a different vibe. We were out there. We were all out there. Everybody didn't get to come. And I keep hearing stories. And I was out there. I'm like, oh, shit. I said, death row booked a certain amount of rooms that night. Whoever was death row traveling, and all these people talking about they were there. I laughed at interview after interview. I'm like, I know Kenya Ware had a room at the left bar, okay? And I only got 2 tickets, but I didn't get 2 tickets to the fight that night, okay? I know all the boys she should roll with, and Nate Dogg came down there. He was the only Dog Pound member. Me, and Nate Dogg's girlfriend and bodyguard were the only Dog Pound members in Vegas that night, period. Nobody else. Not one Dog Pound member.
So I want you to...
Me and Nate Dogg, rest in peace.
So I want you to clear the air on that. Since you was there, I want you to give me a detailed... I want you to give me a detailed step-by-step of everything that happened in Las Vegas.
But from my point of view, because Suge didn't give me no tickets to the fight that night. And normally, I got 2 tickets to the fight, but I didn't get anything. So, the party was going on that night. We were going to have a great party at Club 662. That was after the fight. We always went to Club 662. And I remember I didn't get tickets, so I was kind of pissed, but okay. So we knew that we were going to wait outside in front of the Lexar and all caravan together. I remember the boys coming back from the fight. I remember Pac's chain being broken. I remember, what the fuck happened? And they were all talking. And I knew that some kind of scuffle took place only because Tupac's chain was broken. And I'm like, Pac, what happened? And, he downplayed it. Oh, no. But he kept on fumbling with the chain because this thing needs to be fixed. But it was a big, dookie chain, and it broke. And I was already dressed. Me and my crew, Nate Dogg's girlfriend, Natasha, we were all ready to go. Nate Dogg was outside, but, he didn't like waiting on nobody. He was the man. He had a mind of his own. So they went upstairs to get dressed, and we're still all down there waiting because, we're going to travel as an entourage. So I remember it was taking a long time. Pac came down there with Jersey. Now, funny story. Everybody, I love cars back then. So I had Daz. I had a Mercedes, but I wanted this Suburban. So I got a light blue Suburban drop on rims, right, with sounds in it. I had Globe tires in LA, just hook it up. So Pac came down there and started laughing at me. Laughing. He was like, oh, shit, I just nigga to buy you more shit, crazy. Because he was on the side of the roll bars. It was roll bars on the side of the truck. And he just laughed because he knew I was going through shit with Daz, but I'm still going to get mine. I mean, shit, if I got to go through hell, then it might as well make me a little happy. So he was laughing at that. It was an inside joke between us because he knew it was a lot of tension off and on, but I had this brand new freaking Suburban. So he had to, and I remember, and I've told this in many interviews that always will bother me forever, that I asked him, because he had that jersey on, I'm like, where's your bulletproof vest? Because that was the rule on doing Death Row at that point, to always have your vest on amongst the boys. And I remember, Daz would always have his on, or, he would forget being high, but Mother Kenya is going to remind you. So Mother Kenya came out at that point wearing his vest. And, he said, I don't have to wear one. I'm good. I mean, it kind of puzzled me, but I'm like, okay, that's Pac. Maybe it's uncomfortable because he had it on already with the dress shirt. He already had it on. He didn't have it on doing the jersey. So we're in the car. I'm in my truck. Nate's behind us with his bodyguard. And it was taking a long time because there was a lot of girls around. Oh, they seen Pac. They were just going at it. So Nate was like, fuck this shit. Come on, we leaving. Tasha's rolling with me. So I'm like, all right, let me follow. We followed Nate and his bodyguard. They were in some kind of little van. So we got up there. Now, I want you to imagine this. All right, so you get to the club. I'm there, and I pull up, and we're getting in, and some security guards, they didn't know who I was, so they were giving me a hard time, and I went the fuck off on them. I'm like, do you know who I am? I said, you need to let me in here before you don't have a job. I mean, I was on one, a little cocky then, because Suge let me have my way. So we got in. We got in there, and about 10 minutes later, I mean, Craig Mack was performing in there. So he was in there. He just signed management to Death Row. So he's performing that night at Club 662. So I'm waiting because I'm like, the party don't start until the boys walk in, me, Pac, and them. And it's taking a long time. So all of a sudden, I'm looking around and I see security running out the club. And I'm puzzled. I'm like, and this is the Kenya mind. I'm like, why is security running out? Why are they running out? That don't make no sense. So I think one of my girls that I think Tasha wrote, no, Tasha must have stayed back. It might have been my girl Kamisha. Somebody hopped in the car with me because, everybody else wants to stay there. And yeah, I guess so. When I tell the story, it's always crazy. So I just kind of just go back towards where we came from because it felt weird. It felt weird to see security leaving. So as I'm leaving 662 and I backtrack, I can hear sirens, and I'm like, something ain't right. And I keep hearing sirens as I'm going closer back that way. The sirens are getting they're getting a little bit more visual. So I think we hit a corner and they were just putting up the yellow tape, and I'm like, all I see is this car that I just seen, that we were just with. Like, it's like, it's turned to one side, and in the yellow tape, all Gaddafi, all the outlaws, everybody was in there, and I'm just like, so I got this big old fucking 5-ton truck. I drive through the yellow tape, and I almost hit a cop. So, of course, they about to nut up on me, but I didn't care because I needed to know what happened. By that time, he's gone already. Him and shit, they're gone. They're yellow taping it up. They got him out of there. They're already on the way to the hospital. So I just put my truck in the tape, and they're saying that they both got shot. And it was just like, you didn't know. It was so much. Everybody, outlaws, all the boys in this circle. Just imagine you in the yellow tape, all the cars that were in the thing, and the car, the vehicle, and then my Suburban comes in kind of the opposite kind of way. And everybody's just in tears and crying, and shit, so I think at the first call, I think I called Tasha and they alerted Nate Dog, and he was on it. And then the first call, I made 2 calls besides that. I called Sharitha, Sheriff's ex-wife, because her daughter had rolled up with them to Vegas. Aaron was 3 years old at the time. So I remember Sharitha yelling, oh my God, what's my baby in the car? I'm like, no. She got dropped off, a long time ago. No. So I called her. And then the next call I made was to my mom's house, because I knew Daz was sleeping on the floor at my mom's house with my daughter. And my mom yelled to tell him what happened, and all I heard was this big old, this craziness. And that night, Nate Dogg was like, we getting out of Vegas, because we won't go to the hospital, but people were just, when we were inside that yellow tape, people were driving by, and all I heard was, fuck y'all, death row motherfuckers, fuck y'all. I mean, it was like, they were, they hated us. We thought that we were loved, but it was more fuck y'all, death rows while we were in that circle. So Nate was like, we getting out of Vegas that night, we gotta go. So we ran up to the Lexar Hotel, got all our clothes. Nate had 2 guns tucked in his waistband in the front. And we went and got our shit, and we got on the road. We were all hot, we were all drunk and tired. This was probably like 2 in the morning. And we're trying to get out of there, falling asleep on the road. Every 20 minutes we had to pull over and switch riders. Like me and Tasha would switch because we were so tired. We were so fucking tired. So we needed to get away from Vegas because we thought that there was an assassination attempt on everybody from their phone. So we got to the middle of the Nevada, California line where the meter goes up, the temperature meter, and we parked our cars right there in front of that hotel and went to sleep. And I think I woke up first and Kent got home. I got home that was Sunday. Monday I flew back to Las Vegas with Snoop's mom and Snoop's auntie, his mom Beverly, and his aunt Gail. And Kadada Jones picked us up in the airport in a limo. And I remember I had this big old basket that my mother had made Buffini, this big old, basket that you give, the families that are in mourning. My mom had put one together. And we got to the hospital. And people, so many speculations that anybody could walk out in the hospital. That's not true. The hospital is on lockdown. If you were not a part of Death Row, you were not getting in there. If you had no affiliation with Death Row, you're not getting in there. They had security at each door, Death Row security. So we got there. I got to glance at him at that moment, and all these lies about he's still alive. I'm like, no, you did not get to see him in that condition. He was swollen. You did not get to see him. I got to see a glance, okay? Not even to get to go in there. It was a glance, and it was not good at that point. And we stayed there, I think, overnight and then left the next morning. all that week, they were saying that Pac was getting better. So I think y'all remember this group called Moke and Stuff. Moke and Stuff was going to sign with Death Row at that point. So it was Kenya, Monica, and Monique. Kenya, Monica, and Shalene. I don't know, it was 3 girls at Moke and Stuff. Stephanie. And they were going to ride with me down to Vegas that Friday to go see Pac. And we were getting packed. I was on my way to my house to get my bag, and that's when they announced he had died. And I thought I was going to flip my car on the Section 110 freeway because he was supposed to be doing better. He's not. So, yeah.
So, when you was at the hospital, do you know any celebrities that visited? Because you got people like Yo-Yo that said she was there. You got people like Eric B that said he was there. So
no, he weren't there. I mean,
so all them people lying, right?
Reggie White and I talked, and it's not. All the people were not even able to get in. I mean, Danny Boy got to see. Probably was there, the whole time. MC Hammer could have came in there, but they weren't letting all those people in. They were not, and the Fiend was not letting people in. He wasn't even letting some artists in. Not true. It's not true. I mean, people probably came up there to the hospital, I'm sure, but they weren't getting in there. And to get in that room, people know the Muslim, that culture. They don't let people, I mean, she was very protective over her son at that point. Her and Suge were the boss up there. They weren't letting people in there because at that point they didn't know what had happened. So I imagine these people came there outside, but they weren't getting in. It was on lockdown, heavy lockdown.
Okay. So Tupac was supposed to wear his bulletproof vest that night, and you was the one that actually.
I did ask him, and he should have had it on, but he just didn't. He said he didn't have to wear it.
All right, so
he didn't say that anybody specifically told him, but I don't have to wear it. I don't have to wear it.
So he was supposed to wear it. You reminded him to wear it
all the time. But I did.
But he told you that it was too hot. That's the reason why he didn't wear it.
He didn't. I mean, he didn't want to wear it. He had the jersey on. I mean, he didn't want to wear it. He did not want to wear it. He didn't say, "Oh, such and such said it was okay." He was a man of his own. He didn't want to wear it. Did not want to wear it.
Did you have any friendship with Kadada Jones?
No. I mean, I became friends with her the night in the limousine when she picked us up. She would come around, but Pop was a private person. We all, the other girls kicked it, but Pop kept his, relationship over here. She's Quincy Jones' daughter, so she got her own crew. So, if anything, she took Pop where she was going on that level.
Do you think that relationship was serious? Do you think it would have, do you think it would have went to the next level as far as them having kids or anything like that?
If he was on death row, no. But if he was not on death row, he probably would have, married her. But, she's the type, she comes from a great background in music, so it wouldn't have fit in, with death row's, what Suge was trying to do with Pac. It wouldn't have fit in. So it could have went somewhere. I mean, I've never seen Pac see with anybody but her. But then again, we didn't have a lot of time with him on death row. But he wasn't into a lot of girls. It wasn't that one girl at that point. When Kadada came around, it was all about her.
What was her vibe when she was around y'all? Was she a nice person? Because some people, like Frank Alexander, he made a statement saying that she was a little stuck up. So, I just want to,
let me tell you, so that night, I might not have known her, but that night when she picked me, Beverly, and Gail up, and Snoop's mom, she wrote a book years ago. She detailed this in her book about us getting picked up and Kadada picking us up from the airport. She was the sweetest, most humble person in pain, and we all collectively just joined together. So maybe I got a different, it was a different energy because, the love of her life is laying in the hospital bed. But the time that I got more just close to her like this, it was great. Right. But, why would she be stuck up? I mean, she's been around celebrities her whole life. She's looking at everybody else like, like, who are these people, So, to each his own. But when I got close to her in that limo, she was the sweetest pie.
Okay. Hey, how was it when it came to females, when females was around Tupac? Like, how was that? Like, was females going crazy over him?
No, when Pac did his music, he didn't want nobody around but the people who was creating music. He was very much a business person. And keep in mind, when he came home, his goal was to just do as much music as possible, right? So it wasn't, other than the women that were a part of the death row, it wasn't, a lot of people around. When I came to the studio, there wasn't no girl hanging from his hips. He didn't want that. He wanted to do his music. My music. That's what I'm interested in right now. My music.
It's people, just a few weeks ago, Reggie Wright said that, Tupac gave Mary J. Blige that Thug Passion, man. You know what I mean? So,
okay. Tupac gave Mary J. Blige what?
That Thug Passion.
Oh, okay. 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 I know from my knowledge that Kadada, that was it. Mind you, a lot of freaky stuff went on in the studios. That's the first I've heard about Mary. I've heard about everybody. I've heard about Faith and Faith Evans really, and but that's the first I've ever heard about Mary. Mary was kind of at that point. I don't understand how Mary could do that. Mary was so Casey and her, and they were part of Death Row's management, and she was so stuck on. Just being a woman in love. She was so stuck on KC. I don't know how anybody would have gotten her attention. I've never heard that. It could be true because I wasn't every place at every time. And the boys did what the boys do, but I've never heard that one. But okay.
Well, I'm just saying because there's a lot of rumors. I know you heard some of the rumors of some of the chicks that Tupac aired out. So
I never heard of Mary.
Who you heard of?
I heard this Faith. The popular one, the Faith.
So what's the backstory on that? Do you think it's true? Do you think Tupac gave her that work?
Tupac was shit. It was Daz that started rumor that I was messing with Pac. God damn it. Everybody, let me tell you something. When Pac came, everybody, that nigga was hot. And, speculation can go anywhere. He came in and set it off. He did.
So you do believe Tupac smashed Faith Evans?
I take the shit. It's a big speculation, baby. Put it this way: if Pac said he did it, that man ain't got no reason to lie. That's one thing about him. He's a Gemini core, my Gemini brother, but he had no reason to lie on his penis. Because he could have anything he wanted to at that point. He could have anything he wanted.
And
okay. It's a big. The reason I say that because I wasn't there. In that room. I want to be in the studio. I want to see the shit. Then I can be like, yeah. But those are rumors. That rumor is. I give that more validity than anything. Those two. I do. Yes. Mary, I don't know. Mary was so caught up with KC. Damn. But, Reggie was around, he had more eyes and ears than you. Security was everywhere. Everywhere.
Hey, that's what they say. I think one of the engineers, too. I think one of the, I think one of the studio engineers.
See, they there. They there. They can be in the studios 2:00 in the morning when the person walks in and everybody's gone, and security engineers have all that those are eyes and ears. So I don't put that past that. I just never heard the Mary one, but Faith Evans,
Yeah, one of the engineers said that Mary J. Blige and Tupac locked themselves in a room and they was in there for hours. So,
Oh, okay. All right. I mean, he was hot. Shit. He's hot. He's hot. God damn it. That's what it was,
Hey, what's Suge Knight? Is it true that Suge Knight was smashing one of Puff Daddy baby moms?
Let me tell you Papa. Let me tell you that. I call it Papa. Okay. If Papa, and this goes for anybody, okay? If Papa is mad at a girl, okay, he's mad at you, okay? Suge is mad at you, right?
Right.
How he gonna get you back is he gonna woo your woman. That's his M.O. That's his M.O. That's Keyshawn Johnson. See that? It goes on and on. If he's mad at you, he's gonna go woo your woman, but that's how he gets back at you. That is how he's not into the woman, but that's how he gets to you. I mean, what's the easiest way to get to a man is, his mama, ex-girlfriend, or a girlfriend is crying over something. That's So, of course, you like puppies, so of course you would want one of them. Of course you would do that. Of course you would send flowers and woo her. Yes.
Okay. So earlier you said that one of the first times you met Tupac was at Freaknik. Do you have any stories of Tupac at Freaknik?
Nah, he was just one of the boys with the do-rags on, coming in there with nothing more. Just everybody just being happy college life. Just being out there. And remember, that was the time. I think that was around the time when a different world, and he did his premiere on there. So he was just Pac, digital underground Pac. It was no stories. He was just Pac. He was just like GC Too Short. And I'm like, Pac is here. The other guys in digital underground here. We see this person, Luke Skywalker. It was more at that point. The name back then was Luke. If you went to a Luke party, Luke was the man back then. Well, nobody talking about nobody, but when you went to Freaknik, it was Luke Skywalker going to a Luke party. Back in 91, 92. He was just another rapper. But there was no stories in, because he wasn't Death Row wasn't, it was just coming to be at that point. So, yeah, Pac came to Death Row and it got popping. He made Death Row even better. He's legendary. Snoop, all of them, all those dudes who touched Death Row made it legendary. All of them.
What's your thoughts on the rumors, when people say that Tupac wasn't happy on Death Row and he wanted to leave Death Row? What's your thoughts?
I think that, from what I've seen, is that I think he was happy, but he did, he had an exit strategy. It's apparent. Whenever I seen him, he was happy. But, I don't think he wanted to be there forever. I mean, and when he got there, it was a little bit different. I mean, it was a lot of shit that he had never been involved with. I mean, Pac wasn't a gangster. He wasn't. It wasn't his life. But, I think that he did have an exit strategy, yeah. I think at that point, he was fine. I mean, why I say he was fine is that he showed so much, when Snoop went on the radio, he was so compassionate about, how could you do this how could you do this? So if you're not happy, then that much contentment go into it. It was a brotherhood, and he kind of was like, you're breaking up the brotherhood. We're all over here. I mean, that's how I measure it. How angry he was with that, because Snoop was his brother. And he loved his brother. He loved everybody. So for you to go on and switch sides, that hurt me to my core. So I think he was happy at that point, but B, I think he had an exit strategy. It was not going to be, he wasn't going to be kind of like the, like Motown on the sale here forever. He's bigger than that. So he knew when he got there, he gave the music, and he would start to outgrow it. So I'm sure he talked to management and people personally about an exit strategy, but I just don't think at that moment he was not happy because he was, he wanted the crew to still remain together. I mean, Snoop kind of tilted off, and that hurt him. He didn't care about Dre, but Snoop tilting off. I mean, you're going towards those people over there, and you're aligning with them. It hurt him.
So you do believe Tupac's intentions was to leave Death Row?
At some point, yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Okay.
I mean, he was an artist. Look at him. He's more than music. He was art, poetry. I mean, he probably he's young, but he wanted to expand his horizons. But one thing he wasn't going to do, he wasn't going to leave them high and dry. He was going to give them fulfill every point of that contract. He was going to fulfill that. He was a man of his word. And I think for all the artists, on Death Row, from the time it opened, I think everybody at one point knew that they were eventually going to grow to another direction because it was, there's a lot of, gangsterism on there. Sometimes you got to grow up and get away from the gangsterism. And Pac wasn't about the gangsterism. He adopted it, but it wasn't him. So I couldn't see him staying there that long because he still had, he's an actor. It was so many other avenues, that he wanted to expand. So that's my opinion. That's my Gemini opinion to another Gemini. Just being around him, reading his little vibes, but he was happy at that moment. Yeah. I didn't see anything negative, but, hey, I'm just a girl, what?
Where was the last moment you shared with Tupac?
The last moment was we laughed about that damn Suburban that, he said Daz bought. He was like, damn, got another goddamn car. Damn, he was fresh. He said, I did a good job. I had that Suburban was dropped, and it was beautiful. And he was on the road, the sidebar thing, jumping up and down. Well, girl, I did pretty good. Globe tires did good. I had a man car, and he thought it was just hot. Like, damn, you driving this? So that was our last memory. We kind of laughed over that, and then that, and of course the bulletproof. But I always would stick with the bulletproof vest. Because I reminded Daz all the time. That was kind of like my mother instinct. So just reminding him and him saying, nope, don't have to have one. Don't have to wear it. Don't have to wear it. You do not have to wear it. He did not have to wear it.
Okay.
It was just, who knows? He made that decision, it hurt. It hurts a lot because he was the most amazing person that I've met in history. I mean, nothing was ever the same when he left. It was never the same. Music wasn't the same. People weren't the same. Nothing was the same. Nothing was the same. Nobody ever went back to being the same once Pop was gone.
Yeah, man, that's a terrible situation, man. I know that replays in your mind all the time. You telling him
it does. Oh God. All the time. I mean, and picture this. I hear all these damn stories and all these interviews, and I always ask them, like, well, motherfucker. I said, well, did y'all really know who was in Vegas? I said, because they keep going to all these other people. I know OFTD was there, I know Frank Mac was in there, but, they go to everybody, I'm like, shit, hello? Damn. everybody is asking questions about people who didn't know shit. They didn't know shit. You know? And they're getting all this push time. Really? Okay. I'll tell them in a quick minute. No. Where were you? I didn't see you. I've seen everything. And, I'm very vocal at that point. Because, I have no ego going on. If I didn't, if I didn't know you were part of the crew, I would sit there like, hi, how are you? Hi. But I guess everybody wants to be a part of Pac's history, and, but when he came to Death Row, he was with Death Row. I tell you, he came to my daughter's second birthday party. My daughter has this teddy bear on her bed, and Imani turned 95. He turned 2 in 95. Pac went to FAO Schwartz up in, that was in the Glendale Gallery at that point. He got Imani this big old dog. It was a big old giant dog, and I framed it. I got to go through my basement, but I framed him saying "Happy Birthday, Imani Tupac," and I framed it FAO Schwartz little tag that went on the dog. She still has that dog on her bed to this day. Imani will be turning 24 in a couple months. And Pac came. He brought his mother, Cetra, and 2 kids to Imani's second birthday party. Yeah, that was the second birthday party we had. That was at the, I think that's the one we had over there in Pasadena when we got kicked out of that bowling thing, that playroom thing. But he came all the way on his way to my daughter's birthday and brought this big old stuffed animal. And we called the little stuffed animal, big old giant oversized dog. If you ever go on FAO Schwartz website, you could look at the big, the dog, the symbol of FAO Schwartz. And he got her that big old dog. He walked in with it on his back. And he was so proud in a bag of toys. And, she's 2, but I just thought that was like so beautiful. I mean, you came all the way out your way to my daughter's birthday party. So Imani's born in 94. Right? So that was in 90, that had to be in 95 or 96. 95. Well, it was she was born in 94. It was her second birthday party, and Pac came. So that was the most beautiful thing in the world. The most beautiful thing in the world. And we still had that dog. It's an old beat up dog, but she or he is still in the bed.
I was about to ask you, hey, are you cool with anybody in Tupac family right now? Like, are you cool with his sister, brother, or anything?
Cetra, so Cetra, after Pac died, in 98, Regina King, the actress, got married. And I hadn't seen her, and we all kind of met in Jamaica for Regina's wedding. And it was, Regina King got married, Vivica Fox, John Singleton, Cetra, Arnell Simpson, Tamia, Jermaine Dupree, Chris Lighty, everybody. We were all in 98 in there in Jamaica. And that's the first time I got to just sit there and talk to her because she kind of just, went under. And then recently, with my Ladies of Death Row show, I got a couple girls that talk to her weekly, my girl Andrea and Simone, and I wanted her to be a part of the show. And, she said second season she would come and get down with us. We're not going to elaborate on Pac, because it was a soft spot, but I just wanted her there as a sister to be a part of it. So the girl is still in contact with her. She's doing very good. And, she said she would come and support the sisters, because, all we want for the Ladies of Death Row is to come, and, we're going to focus on the Death Row thing for the first season, but after that, we're going to talk about our lives and growth and empowering women and young girls and teaching them different ways and, and even our careers. We're going to revisit our careers in there. So that's the premise of my show that, I love to get, the other, Kadado on too, just to come on, because we are ladies, and we were part of a movement. And we don't have to dwell on the past, but, the world just kind of wants to know. what are you guys doing now? And what goes on for your future? And how are you doing mentally? How did you get past all that? So that's my intentions with all my girls like that.
So let's speak on that. What's the update on the Ladies of Death Row?
Oh, it's at the purchase point now. It's out to network for sale. I mean, it's been about since the day I brought it to Universal, it's been about 10, 11 months. So right now, it's making a circulation to see, who wants to, purchase. I teamed up with Universal and the partners, and we just want to see what network was suited right. It's going to be reality series, and, the cast that we have now, things might change here and there depending on the network because, some networks have their wants and needs. But it's going to be about positivity, but people ask me, I get a lot of calls about, well, I was a part of Death Row, but you weren't a part of my sisterhood. And since Kenya is the creator and executive producer, then she's going to bring in all the women that were part of our little circle. And we had a little circle. I mean, we did. I mean, Vivica was there, Foxy Brown used to stay with me, Michelet was there, Lady Rouge was there, Setcha was there. All of them were there. Shantae, his wife, was there. All her friends were there. A lot of the girls that were, rappers on, Nancy Fletcher was there. But Joelle was there. But other girls, I didn't have a relationship with, so I gotta appeal to where I was. Madeline Woods was there. She was at the hospital when I had Imani. So I'm bringing people that, were around our circle. But most importantly, what are they doing now? And it's very important to me that they're doing something positive now, uplifting for women. Because we're not going to, you don't want to harp all over Death Row days forever. I mean, we can go on for 20 years with that, but the women now, they need to see positive role models. They need to see that we were a part of that, but look what we're doing now. So that's my main objective, and, for all the people that want to know, they get called. Such and such was a part of it. I'm sure they were, but they weren't around my circle, and it has to be affiliated with all of us. I mean, we all did birthdays together. We traveled together. We hung out together. We did all these things together. And if you weren't part of that little circle, then, I don't know how to bring you in because there's no history. So it's moving along, and keep saying prayers that we get with a great network that will just embrace us.
So who's going to be on the show?
Okay, so as of now, you got myself. Of course, I brought in my longtime friend, Vivica Fox. And people ask, well, what did she do? Well, she was married to the first R&B group, 6ix9ine. Plus, she was around a lot of things that happened during the Death Row days, all around. Vivica, Michelet, Joelle was coming in second season. She was sick, had some sickness going on. Lady Rage, Andrea, which is Corrupt. Simone was chief photographer for Death Row, who wrote a book. She was the one that got severely jumped and beat down in the offices. She wrote a book about it, Simone. And I got a good friend of mine, Michelle Dukes, that was around during those days. That's probably first season. And then I want to bring Setcha in. Again, of course, Nancy Fletcher in. Joelle, of course, once she, gets going. And, any other girls, Kadada. I know Shantae, her and Snoop, they've been kind of doing, they had their own reality show thing, Lockdown, so I couldn't really, go there at this moment because they have a lot going on. But that's my, first season, second season, it could, change with some other girls.
Okay. So, hey, I wanted to ask you, because you brought up Vivica Fox or whatever. Hey, did Tupac and Vivica Fox have some kind of friendship? Because she was in one of his videos, right? The Temptations video?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. This knew him, and they had a great friendship, great friendship. Definitely. Vivica Suge was good friends with Vivica. I remember I was living in Atlanta. I think I came down here in 80. It might have been 07, 08, and me and Vivica met for lunch, and Suge joined us at the Beverly Center. We were at PF Chang's at that point. So, yeah, they've been friends, good friends. Good. Suge has always admired her. Acting skills always admired her. So yeah, they've been friends for years.
Okay. I can't wait for that, Ladies of Death Row. So,
please just put it out there, and it's about, we will focus, but it's gonna be some good energy. I cannot wait to get a hold of some of these young girls down there, and and then we're gonna introduce our kids too. We're gonna, I got the second generation coming to follow that with the kids. So I'm bringing them along too for the ride, bringing all of them along, all the kids that were around, because a lot of kids are doing really good. So that's my next thing, is to get the kids and show what they're doing with their lives, and then be able to help some more kids. So just say some prayers, because, I really worked hard, have been working hard. And I just want to see that all these good things come to light, that you worked hard for.
Yes, indeed, man. Yes, indeed. So, yeah, man, is there anything else you want to speak on or shout out before we end this interview?
Yeah, I just want to shout out to all my ladies, and, you guys just support us all. It's positiveness, and, Daz Corrupt, those are my boys. Anything I do, music-wise, I'll always bring those cats along. My boys are my boys. We all still connected for life. We all got love for each other. We went through this amazing part of history, and I just think it's time to share with the world on a positive note and give light to the people who were really there and not the people who aren't. I mean, I'm tired of hearing enough with the spectators. Let the people tell their story who were actually there. Give them the light, and that's it.
Absolutely, man. Once again, I want to thank you so much for this interview, man. This was an amazing interview. Hopefully, this is not the last interview me and you do. But
you just give me a text, and then you tell me what time, and we'll work it out, because I like you. And anything for young people like you that need to put the history out there correctly. It's all love. It's all love, and it's time people just need to share Pac's legacy. Just put it out there. Let the world know. Share the love. Share it.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. You're absolutely right, man. That's what it's all about, man. Putting out the truth. Putting out the accurate stories, man.
Yeah, well, we're going to keep telling them the good stories, and, maybe, we can get all the girls, when we get the show on, have you come there and let you do some blogs there with the girls, too, once we get going, because, you're all right with me.
Yes, indeed, man. Thank you so much, man. You're a cool person, man. Appreciate it so much.
Thank you, and just let me know whatever you need, and you have a blessed day, sweetheart.
Yes, ma'am. So with that being said,
okay.
I can't wait for the Ladies of Death Row, and you want to shout out your social media accounts, or?
For myself, Kenya Ware, at Kenya Ware. I'm going to be Kenya Ware is good. Get all the ladies: Andrea Kelly, Lady Rage, Michelle Music, Vivica Fox, Keeping It Real with Mimi, and Simone. All my girls are part of it. Just give them all a shout out. Of course, Daz and Corrupt and Snoop and all the rest of the crew, DPGs. We love you guys, and let's keep this ball rolling. Let's keep it rolling.
Yes, indeed. So with that being said, we out. Deuces.
Yep. Okay. Bye bye.